Are you giving objections the attention they deserve? Hello, my name is Rob Spence. I'm the Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions. I'm a sales trainer, sales coach, sales author, overall sales nerd. And in this week's sales snippet, I want to talk to you, please, if that's all right with yourself, about objections and why we should give them our full attention. Now, when I say the word objection, we're talking about rebuttals or things that are going to put the buyer off. So these can be anything to do with price or sort of parts of the product or service or offering that your customer isn't quite getting. So it could be a thought along the line of the pricing point. It seems a bit too much for me. Or I like this, but that feature doesn't quite work well for me. Or what happens with that feature there? Or I need to go speak to my boss, or I need to speak to my partner, which is a massive objection many people hear. Now, the biggest problem that salespeople can sort of get themselves into the bad habit of doing is just really trying to rush past the objection to try to close the sale. And that's a massive, massive big no-no to me. Of course, I understand why a salesperson or a business owner may want to do that. It's so that they can try and ignore the objection, slide past it, hope the buyer doesn't really pay too much attention to it, and they can close the sale. However, this can lead to buyer's remorse. It can lead to people buying a product or a service that they're just not right for. And it can also really damage trust. So you can forget any future sales, repeat business, referrals, recommendations, all that jazz. So whenever you hear an objection, whether it be to do with price or delivery schedule or a feature or benefit of your product or service, don't ever skip past it. Explore it. Start that conversation. Don't be afraid to dig into the nitty-gritty as to why your prospect won't buy from you. Because in doing so, what's going to happen is that you're going to develop trust. You're going to develop a relationship. And you're going to actually get to close that sale so much faster. 8 times out of 10, which is a statistic I've just made up now, 8 times out of 10, whenever you hear an objection, normally it's just down to trust. That's what the objection is down to. If they're whinging about price or features, benefits, anything like that, it's probably because you've not developed a strong enough trust, or you've not really developed a strong emotional bond or desire to your product or service. However, by you exploring that objection goes to show that you have got nothing to hide, that you are so confident that your product or service is the best thing that your potential customer that you're pitching to will want, that you don't need to skim past the objection. You know the answer because you know that you are the best at what you do. So next time you hear an objection, don't feel the need to suddenly skim past it, or, oh, you don't need to talk to your wife, they'll only waste your time, or, you know, whatever these dodgy salespeople say these days. Don't try and skim past it. Explore it, question the objection further. Give it the full attention the objection deserves. And I promise you that your relationships with your customers and your prospects will grow so much bigger and wider, that your repeat business, your referrals, your recommendations grow much faster than just trying to lie, deceive, or rush a customer into buying your product or service. As always, I'm going to open this up to you. Am I right? Should we be paying the objection full attention? Should we be exploring it? Or as soon as we hear an objection, should we just try and ignore it, skim past it, pretend we didn't hear it, and pretend that we're Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All? Drop me an email, rob@paragonsalesolutions.co.uk. As always, I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. But before you go, please do like, share, subscribe, and send it as far and wide as possible. It really does help. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, all the best.